24 Days of Wonder. 24 stories from my 19 years with Santaland on 34th Street. Story 10, Santa at City Hall. We had the most famous Santa in the city due to the Thanksgiving Day Parade and the movie Miracle on 34th Street. And as a result, Santa received many requests for personal appearances during the season. Some were just for the fun of having Santa there in person at someone's event, but many of the requests were for very worthwhile charities and for visits with some very special children. Santa visited children's wards at many of the local hospitals to see sick and sometimes terminally ill children. And he was a regular at events for Ronald McDonald House, St. Jude's Hospital, Make-A-Wish, among many others. These were especially moving moments for Santa and for the elves that accompanied him. In the year 2000, we had a request from the mayor's office for Santa to appear at a City Hall press conference. Mayor Rutan Giuliani was honoring a young boy who had received an award for academic excellence. The boy was 7 years old and, due to illness, wore braces on both legs and used crutches to get around. The mayor wanted Santa there to give the boy a very special Christmas gift the mayor had arranged for. So, about an hour before we were supposed to be there, Santa Richard, Stardust, and I got into a black car service sedan for the trip to City Hall. I was going along for two reasons. One was I was the city agency liaison for the events department. But more importantly, I also felt that having a guy in a regular business suit present might facilitate the process of getting through security better for Santa Claus and a young woman dressed as an elf. We left early because I felt that I'd rather be early than late when it came to the mayor of New York City, especially Mayor Giuliani. But the best laid plans. Traffic was terrible. It took us over half an hour to get 30 blocks. And then we ran into another problem. Our driver had no idea where City Hall was, and he spoke very little English. He took two wrong turns along the way, and it took a lot of gesturing on our part to get him back on track. But when we finally got downtown, he couldn't figure out how to get us anywhere near City Hall. The thoroughfares in that neighborhood are confusing and filled with mostly one-way streets. The closest we ever got was 2 blocks away, and I knew the clock was ticking. Indeed, when I checked my watch, I realized we were now late. The press conference was beginning. And then I looked up and panicked. We were heading onto the Brooklyn Bridge. I had the driver stop the car. Santa Richard, Stardust, and I jumped out of the car and we started running towards City Hall at full tilt. And by the way, it's not very easy to run in one of those red suits. The three of us arrived out of breath at the security checkpoint for City Hall, already 7 minutes late. The 3 policemen at the checkpoint were quite amused. I explained why we were there. And as I did so, I realized we had another problem. To get into City Hall, we had to go through a metal detector, and Santa's outfit was covered with metal bells. The policemen were extremely nice. One called into the security desk to find out if Santa was indeed expected. In the meantime, one of the others flirted with Stardust, and the third asked Santa for an idea for a special gift for his wife. The one who placed the call said we'd been okayed and told Santa that his kids had been really good that year. As we started towards the hall steps, another called out and asked if Santa would take a picture with them on the way out. An aide met us at the door, waved us around the metal detector. We could hear Mayor Giuliani wrapping up the press conference. He was saying something about a special gift. Well, Santa Richard started shaking his bells and ho-ho-hoing at the top of his lungs as he ran behind the aide towards the press room. The mayor obviously heard him and decided to meet Santa halfway. He, the boy, and the boy's father all came down the hallway towards us, with the press corps, of course, following quickly behind. Santa had a very nice visit with the young man, and then asked the mayor what he wanted for Christmas. This was followed by everyone posing for the press photographers. Between the mayor and Santa, we had made it work. We left City Hall. Santa stopped for a couple of photos with the policeman at the checkpoint. One policeman also wanted his picture taken with Stardust and told Santa that he would love to find Stardust under his Christmas tree. I called for the car service to pick us up. It was a bitterly cold day. Santa Richard and Stardust were freezing. I sent them off to an enclosed doorway while I waited for the car. When the car came, I told the driver we needed to go pick up Santa and Stardust. But when we got there, we had to wait a few minutes in this off-track part of the city, on a sidewalk behind City Hall, where at 10:30 on a weekday morning, Santa had been spotted by his fans. He was visiting with a child and her father, and Stardust had 3 more families lined up to go next. The children would always find Santa, and magic as they are, Stardust and Santa would always be there for them.